If you intend to testify in this proceeding, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. I'll go ahead and call the board attendance. Calling chair. Oh, yes. Sorry. I'll swear in the Spanish translator and Creole.
Just Gene.
Do you swear or affirm that you will translate from Spanish to English, English to Spanish, to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Thank you.
Buenas noches. Si alguien aquí necesita ayuda de traducción entre inglés y español, por favor levante la mano. Ok, este mensaje es para ustedes.
Ever stand up?
Sí, todos aquellos que tengan la intención de testificar sobre este o cualquier otro asunto, por favor, póngase de pie y levante su mano derecha. Jura o afirma solemnemente que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Gracias.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that you will translate from Creole to English, English to Creole to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you.
Bonsoir. Est-ce que il y a une salle là qui peut parler anglais bien, qui a besoin d'aide? Pas de monde dans la salle là? OK. Merci beaucoup.
I'll go ahead and call the board attendance. This is for nuisance abatement. Chair Yvonne Bayona. Thank you. Vice Chair John Cunil. Thank you. Member Brenda Betancourt. Thank you. Calling member Rick Madan. Calling member Keon Williams. Calling member Martin Zilber. Thank you. Calling member Christy Tasker.
Present.
We do have quorum. Also, member Keon Williams is requesting an excused absence. Yes.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
We ready? Is everyone ready? Everyone ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. We have 4 cases up for, 3 up for status. 1 is set for hearing. There's going to be 2 resets and 2 non-compliance. So I believe this should be pretty quick. First case is on page 6. Address is 1458 Northwest 69th Terrace. I have Officer Robbins here for a status update regarding the non-compliance. If you can come to the podium. Officer, can you please state your name for the record?
Officer M. Robbins, Model City Neighborhood Resource Officer.
And are you the neighborhood resource officer assigned to 1458 Northwest 69th Terrace?
Yes.
Since the order has been issued back in June of 2023, has the owner been in contact with you?
No, the owner is deceased.
Okay.
No one has been in contact with me.
No one on behalf of the property, correct?
No.
Okay. To date, is the property in compliance with any of the orders from the board?
No.
And notice has been posted for today's hearing?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, members of the board, the city would ask that the property be found in violation of the board's order, be fined $500 for today's failure, and reissue all previous conditions, and request a reset for 30 days.
I'll move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Next case, page 35, address is 177 Northeast 68th Terrace, owner Victor Scott. I have Officer Gene here to testify regarding the noncompliance. Good evening, officer. Please state your name for the record.
Officer Jean-Gilles, Daryl Haiti, Neighborhood Resource Officer.
And officer, are you the neighborhood resource officer assigned to 177 Northeast 68th Terrace?
Yes.
And since the order from the board was issued back in July of 2023, to your knowledge, is the property in compliance with any of the conditions of the order?
Actually, the owner is working with us, but at this point, last time we spoke with him, he said that he's trying to evict all the tenants. That's what we stand right now.
Okay. Do you know if the owner has installed or executed a trespass affidavit and trespass sign?
No.
Okay. How often do you meet with the owner?
Um, Last time we spoke with him was last month.
And has the owner provided tenant rolls with vehicle
No.
information, tag numbers?
No.
Is the property currently occupied?
Yes.
Okay. And has when is the last time you've been at the property?
I'm sorry, repeat again?
When was the last time you were at the property?
I can't remember. A couple of weeks ago, because we have an incident there. Probably 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. And is it your testimony that the owner has complied with some, yet not all of the conditions of the
Exactly,
order?
some, but not all.
So dating back to July of 2023, the owner is still non-compliant with the order?
That's correct, not 100%.
Okay. At this time, the city of Miami would ask that the property be found in violation of the board's July 2023 order, be fined $500 for today's failure, and reissue all previous conditions.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And reset 30 days.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Thank you.
Next case, page 75, address is 60 Northwest 77th Terrace. Members, we were here last month. The owner pled guilty. There were conditions issued. My understanding is that the owner is in compliance with the conditions, and the city is going to request a reset for 60 days for status report.
Do I have a motion to reset this for 60 days?
I'll move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The final case is.
Can you just give me a second? Can you please record me in, Melanie? Thank you.
Announcing the arrival of member Brenda Bettencourt. Thank you.
Page 227, last case, 7525 Northeast Miami Court. This is up for the first time, set for hearing. Is anyone here on behalf of Ethan Little River LLC? Noting that the owner is not present. At this time, the city of Miami is going to request a reset due to unavailability of the detective.
I'll move to reset.
30
Second.
days.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. This concludes the nuisance abatement board meeting.
Rachel, you're going to be just as quick, right?
Should you claim homesteading her property? Then I will move for 120 days and $150 a day for the fines.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
120 days, $150 per day after 120. Tell her to speak to the inspector and maintain communicated with him at all times.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you. Next.
Calling page 99, address 921 Northwest 30th Court, case number 000-66056, address 921 Northwest 90th Court, Northwest 30th Court, page 99.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Norman Roberts.
Address, please. Address.
The address of the property or my address? This is 30 Northwest, 921 Northwest 30th Court.
Guilty or not guilty, Mr. Roberts? Thank you. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for comments.
Inspector, can you please state your name and then explain to the board the issues of the work without a permit and construction in the right-of-way, in the encroachment?
Right, Inspector Torres with the after hours when I opened the case, there was a proactive inspection. There was a commercial vehicle parked on the driveway, which was already complied. And then after further review, I realized that there was permit without, it was done some work without permits. I checked the records and there was no permit for the driveway, the approach that they did on the right of way, the fence, windows, and there was a demolition also. That it was done before without permits.
How much time are you recommending?
I'm recommending 120 days so they can go ahead. The permits that they have right now on file, they're under corrections. They have 3 different permits. So I'm recommending 120 days so they can come into compliance.
And $250 a day thereafter, it's not homestead.
And
I don't believe
$250.
he resides there.
Right, thank you. Mr. Roberts, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, well, we're snowbirds. We're here for part of the year. We were out of town. Before we left, we hired a company by the name of G Moore to take care of everything, pull permits and do everything. And when we got back, we discovered that he hadn't done any of those things since then. But he was trying to apply for after-the-fact permits, and we waited a little while, and we realized he wasn't doing anything right. He did file, and we signed off on asking for 3 after-fact permits. Anyway, he's no longer involved. We went out and hired a real company, Aruba Permit Services. I have a letter from them. We paid them a retainer, and they're going to pull all of the permits that are needed after the fact. And in fact, they gave me a letter. I don't know if you're interested. It's to address the city of Miami saying they're doing all of this.
Right. The inspector said that they're under, your plans are under revision. So their city already knows and they have them and they're reviewing them. So we know that what you're saying.
And it was a vehicle, we had it rented at that time. After this happened, we asked the tenants to get out. They're no longer there. The guy with the big commercial truck, he's gone too. No more truck, no more tenants.
Are you fine with 120 days of an extension?
Yeah.
You're fine with 120 days? They are offering to give you 120 days as an extension.
That'd be fine. I
Okay, thank you.
think we'll be fine by that.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for 120 days, 250 per diem?
I'd like to make a motion for 180 days just because he's already in the process of the permits to make sure that he has plenty of time so he doesn't have to waste his time to come back here.
Okay.
I'll second 180 days.
All in favor?
Aye.
180 days. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Calling page number 145, and they're also here for page 148. Address is 2944 Southwest 16th Street, case number 000-66054. Address 2944 Southwest 16th Street, page 145. I'll call the other case as well. Page 148, address is 2950 Southwest 16th Street, case number 000-65897. Page 148.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Good afternoon, members of the panel. Xiomara Prats Rodriguez. I'm the property owner. It's 2944, 2950 Southwest 16th Street. Also with me is representing the engineering firm that I've retained is Mr. Ronald Rodriguez to corroborate some of the circumstances. I'm going to plead not guilty with a convoluted explanation.
Okay, thank you. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for additional comments. Thank you.
All right, we'll do page 145. Inspector, can you please state your name for the record?
Vanessa Pino, Code Compliance, Southeast Office.
Did you cite the aforementioned property on this violation for failure to maintain the exterior as well as work performed without a finalized permit?
Yes.
And that is, there is interior remodeling, a new porch, partial demolition of a front structure, a rear enclosure with a water heater, as well as the property needs to be painted, the mold needs to be removed, and the parking lot needs to be pressure cleaned and washed. Is that
Excuse me,
correct?
we have the wrong photos. This is, these
they're
photos are
together.
2944. This is
They're
2952.
They're together.
All of them?
Like the property, there's no dividing fence.
Right.
So I included all of the photos.
Oh, okay, because
So-
I'm seeing pictures from the second,
Yeah.
from page
So-
148.
So Madam Chair,
Yes.
Madam Chair, just, do you have an objection to hearing both cases together?
I do not. As a matter of fact, I believe that is part of the explanation.
All right, I'll introduce, as to the second case, Inspector, you cited for work performed without a finalized permit. That's as to the 2950 property, correct?
Yes.
Failure to maintain the exterior and also improper storage of outside material. That is, again, construction being done without permit, removal of windows, doors, all those things, wall, AC units, interior work and remodeling, paint, and all the things that need to be done, which is painting, removal of mold, cleaning up the parking lot, painting, pressure washing, construction debris that's being improperly kept outside. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, as to all of these, we have, let's see, let me go back to 145, which is Exhibit B shows the owner of record and the Sunbiz report showing the owner of the property who's here today, correct?
Yes.
And Exhibit C has all of the summonses and the notices of violation, correct?
Correct.
And as to case 148, which is the 2950 property, Exhibit A shows all the photographs relating to the property, to this side of the property, correct? Including, there's photographs, emails, and records pulled from the city showing no permits and all of those other things. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. Exhibit B shows the owner of record pursuant to the property appraiser, as well as the Sunbiz report showing the owner who's here today. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Exhibit C is also as well the summons for today, as well as all the notices that were posted and sent to the owner when they were first given the violation. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. At this time, for both pages 145 and 148, the city would seek to admit exhibits A, B, and C.
Submit it.
Okay. Inspector, if you want to go through the 2944 property first, and then we could do the 2950 property.
Okay, so 2944, there has been nothing submitted for this property. As you can see in this particular photo, that used to be enclosed. It is now exposed. They have done complete interior remodeling, and they have done the exterior little wooden porch area also without permits. They haven't submitted anything for this property, and there's also a case from unsafe structures. So this property has 2 structures, and the 2950 property also has 2 structures.
It's supposed to be a single-family home, Inspector?
No, the structures
Or
themselves
they're supposed to be
are legal.
duplex, because they're T30.
It's legal. All 4 structures are legally there.
It's the work that's being done and how they're being kept that's in violation of the code. Is that correct?
Correct. So this is how the property looks like. I went by today. They still look the same. There's graffiti, there's mold, there's paint peeling off. The 2 things that have been done have been, the only thing that's been done has been like the materials that were being stored outside, and the commercial vehicle that was there, that has been removed. As far as that's on the 2950 side. The 2944 is all the stuff that I mentioned. So
Okay, so now for the 2950 side, if you could just give a brief recitation as well
so
for
the
that.
2950 side, this is the unit in the rear of 2950. That has been completely gutted, windows, doors removed. Nothing, there was no permits at the time. I reached out as well to Unsafe Structures. They put a stop work order. They were caught, I believe, once or twice after that, still doing construction without a permit. They did submit a permit application in October. I believe that was reviewed in November or December, and it now says applicant corrections required for the 2950. And then the front structure, which is marked 2952, the complaint came from the tenant that was there that I believe is in the process of eviction now. And she just showed me the conditions that she felt were not up to standards. And those are the photos that you see of the interior. And like I said, there is something active for the 2950. 2944 does not have anything as of yet.
So it's 100% vacant.
I'm not sure, actually, because at the time that I opened my case, 2944 was vacant. The front structure was vacant and was for rent. I believe now someone is living there. The rear structure in 2944, which has 2 units, was not vacant, but I did not go in. The rear structure of 2950 was vacant, which is the 2-story structure, and the front structure of 2950 is the one where the tenant, gave me access and she was a complainant.
She pled guilty, right?
No, she pled not guilty.
That's what I asked. That's
Right.
what I thought.
So-
Did you say guilty or not guilty?
I said not guilty, sir, with
That's why we're going into
explanation.
the detail.
Yeah. All right, is there anything else that you need to add to either property?
No, I did mention they both have unsafe structures
Yes,
violations.
you did.
This one does have something submitted, 2950. 2944 does not have anything submitted as of yet.
Okay. So at this time, the city, I think we already admitted the evidence. We don't have anything further at this time for either 2 cases.
Well, ma'am, is there something you would like to say?
Me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Inspector Pino. I believe Inspector Pino and Inspector Medina from Unsafe Structures have been in contact. I think part of the issue here is that we are working to resolve, or have been working to resolve through Unsafe Structures, some of the issues. The property optically appears to be one, but there are 2 separate folios. We had a disgruntled tenant, which took 7 months to evict. Judge White just finally got them out, and they're still squatting there. As of today, we had the survey that's required now for unsafe, and this person, every time we have someone come in to try and begin the process, they become irate, they yell at them, they're very, so a lot of folks don't want to deal with that, but I get that that's a separate legal matter. I think the issue in question, I spoke to Inspector Medina right before, is that we're continuing to work with the engineers. Mr. Rodriguez, a part of Yusef Hashem Engineers, they're trying to meet with Mr. Ramos to really get a better assessment as to what the structural issues are at 2944, because most of them are more, I don't want to say cosmetic, obviously work needs to be done. That heater had to be covered for now, just because for safety. On 2950, it's all vacant now, except for the order that I have from the court, and she is still yelling at people today. I don't know how she got in, but I have a squatter in there now.
Okay, so my only question to you would be, as the municipal prosecutor here, is in what way is the property not guilty of work without a permit?
Well, we're working to resolve that.
What you've done, how are you not guilty of what, you pled not guilty, how are you not guilty of work without a permit? Work was done on your property without a permit, that's been shown. How are you not, do you have a permit issue that we're unaware of? You have plans that you put in 2023, where's your permit? You don't have a permit.
I have a process number.
Okay, so you don't have a permit, but you pled not guilty to work without a permit.
That's why I think she meant guilty with an explanation. That's why I asked, but it is
know,
what it is. We already put on the case.
Yep. And the exterior of the property is not maintained. How is it maintained? How in the photograph, since you pled not guilty?
No,
How is it not in violation? Or are you guilty?
I attempted to do the exterior. I have the contract with the stucco company to try and, but again, then I got a stop work order, and I didn't want anyone to go to jail or get in trouble, as the inspector made me aware that that could be a problem.
So you have not applied for, you entered an application and that's it? Or nothing's been done, you just got?
They have a permit from they have plans submitted in October of 2023 that are still being processed. There's nothing for the 2944 property at all.
Correct.
And the condition remains. Now, the plans being processed are remodeling. So that's where that is.
I have a question, if I may. In speaking to the inspector, am I allowed, I didn't realize we were allowed to get, like, for example, a separate permit for example, to
That's
keep
not
the
a
property
question for
dry?
here today. That's a
Understood.
question for when you go to the building department.
Understood.
And the gentleman next to you, if he's helping you, would know how you get a master permit and sub-permits.
So they've had 6 months to work on this, and obviously now it's when they started.
I just have a question to the chair. To the engineer, since you're working in the buildings, those are wood structures. So how exactly are you going to go around to that renovation without just demolishing the property? Because wood frame. So can you please, because
First,
you might be
state your-
telling her that you want to renovate it?
State your
Pero we
name,
know.
wait, state
My
your name
name-
and address, please.
Ronald Rodriguez, here helping out Ms. Prats.
Your address?
2950 Southwest 16th Street.
So you live there?
No, I don't.
So that's not your address?
My address
Yeah,
is,
your
address.
I'm sorry, 9595 Fontainebleau Boulevard, apartment 1403, Miami, Florida, 33172.
What is it you do for a living?
I'm the structural engineer. I work
Okay.
for Yusuf Hashem, 𝐌∗HCE. Okay, we can talk. Hey, for 2950, what we have are the plans is we have a violation from 2022, which we were contracted by her to start the process. We submitted the first round. Plans were lost in the city when she was getting comments back. This has been ongoing. So we resubmitted again last year after she found out that it was still in violation. So we had to resubmit those same plans that have been going on since 2022. This is something we've been going with unsafe structures back and forth. And we still have comments. We submitted those comments and we're still waiting for them back. That's for that 2950 renovation. That she had a violation for like wood sagging. And was wood sagging, that's it. It was just the wood sagging.
And for the other property? What have
And
you?
for 2944, we actually were just covered last year in October. She signed contract for us to help her with the violation. But every time that we've tried to go to the property, the lady that was living on the 2952, she kept like pushing us, calling the police. So it was very difficult for us to do the work because she would come out, start yelling at me. So
What
it's-
about proof
But
of
you don't
the
have a
proof
permit.
that you submitted
You say
to
you
the
don't.
city? Do you have proof that you submitted to the city back in 2022 and 2023 that they
Yeah,
lost?
she has all the
Okay.
emails and
Can we
everything
see
going back
that?
and forth.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
if I could interject. What they're referring to from 2022 was that they were given a violation from unsafe structures for not doing the 40, 50-year certification. And they submitted documents, and then it was later determined that the property didn't meet the, I guess, requirements to need the 40, 50-year certification.
So they're not done.
That's what was back then.
So
The
they-
2950, everything started new in October of 2023 when I cited and I called unsafe structures to come out and they cited.
Ms. Pino, do they have the 40-year?
They don't need it.
They didn't need
They don't
it.
need it, okay.
They don't need it.
Okay, residential.
The city would ask for a finding of guilt, 90 days to comply, and a $500 per diem.
Do I have a motion?
I'll adopt the city's motion, yes.
Do I have a second? No. Motion dies. Do I have a new motion?
No, because I want to hear what I wanted to.
120, 250?
It's commercial, that's why it's 500.
Right, that's why we're asking 500.
Right. And I moved for 120 and 250.
I'll second.
Got it.
Is there
You
any
second
way?
it? You second it?
No.
I seconded it.
You seconded it.
Yes.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
No.
My only concern is the time frame. I don't know if it's appropriate.
Can
to
you
ask-
please
You
just
can
give a
get an
second?
EOT.
Hold
Hold
on,
on,
one
hold
second,
on.
please.
Go
We're
to the
voting.
roll call vote.
Excuse me, doing a roll call. Member Martin Zilber,
Yes.
Member Christy Tasker.
Yes.
Calling Member Brenda Bedingcourt.
No.
Thank you. Calling Vice Chair John Kuhnil.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling Chair Yvonne Bayona.
No,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
It passes by a vote of 3-2.
thanks.
All right, thank you.
So you'll have 120 days at 100, just like the attorney said, at 119 days, make sure that you re-register, just make sure that you're getting things done.
And make sure you
Your-
actually
Your
have done
engineer can
something.
explain it to you.
Next case, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling page 20, address 97 Northwest 25th Street, Unit 102, case number 000-64078, page 20, address 97 Northwest 25th Street, Unit 102, page 20.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Good evening, David Moscoso, 2525 Ponce de Leon Boulevard, Coral Gables, Florida.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Thank you. We'll let the city present its case.
Inspector, can you please state your name and explain the issue with the work performed without a permit?
Good evening, Inspector Medvin, Southeast. This establishment, I was on a detail with Wynwood PD and doing the outdoor speakers, and they were observed as one of the businesses that did not have the permit for the outdoor speakers.
It's a low voltage permit, is that correct?
Correct, low voltage electrical permit
Okay.
for the building department. They haven't initiated it yet.
All right, and how, I know it's difficult to get in to see Senior Chief Way and to get these worked out over with electrical at building. How long would you think they would need to come into compliance?
I mean, I would recommend 60 days just to be safe.
And $250? Okay.
I'll move 60 days.
Well, I don't know.
Wait,
You need to
hold
talk.
on.
I don't know if Mr. Moscoso has something.
Mr. Moscoso, do you have anything to say?
Guilty.
No, I agree. We've already hired a design review professional. We're ready to go. We're going to get in there, get motivated and get this done. If for whatever reason it's not done in 60 days, I'll be sure to be very active with the inspector to make sure we're on the same page about everything.
Perfect. So you're fine with
I'll move
60 days?
60 days.
Second?
Absolutely.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 60 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Next
great
case.
evening.
Thank you.
Calling page 152, address 1136 Northwest 28th Street, case number 000-66122, address 1136 Northwest 28th Street,
152?
page 152, 152.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
My name is Javier Junior Flores, address 1136 Northwest 28th Street, Miami, Florida, zip code 33127.
Guilty or not guilty, Mr. Flores?
Guilty. And,
Okay.
I have my dad here. He's kind of helping me throughout this whole
Right.
process.
We'll come back to you for further discussion. We'll let the city present its case first and then.
Inspector, if you can state your name and go through the issues with work performed without a permit, illegal unit, the landscaping removal, and the outside storage.
Inspector Lezama Central Office, the property was found that it had some construction in the back additions. It used to be a garage. It was converted. The property owner bought it that way. I met with the property owner. He gave me access to.
Correct. He just purchased the property, correct? I mean, 2023 is when he purchased, right? Okay.
So he gave me access to the property where I explained to him where the illegal units are. He's willing to have a permit to all the removal. He's also going to work with getting all the storage outside in the backyard. He's working on it. And I explained everything to him, the fence and the replacement of the grass, and he's willing to comply. So
How much time do you think he might need longer, but what's a good starting for him?
I think he's going to need 180 days. He has already some plans trying to get the microfilms and all the things that he was not expecting to have, but he already started with.
Thank you. Mr. Flores, any comments? You're fine with 180 days?
It requests 250.
150.
Well, the 150, this is his homestead.
It's not homesteaded in 2023.
Yeah, it is.
It is here.
It is here.
Okay, it's not
You
on
can make
mine.
the motion either way. Do whatever you want.
Do you live on the property?
I'm okay with whatever you want to do. It's just,
Yeah, he lives on the property.
it's just not in 2023.
I'll make a motion.
I move for 180 days and 150. What, thank
I'll
you for your
second
service,
it.
sir.
I'll second that. I'll
All
second
in
it.
favor?
Aye. Thank you
You
for
have
your service.
180 days.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
service,
and thank you
sir.
for your service.
Thank you, board.
Calling page
That's it.
154, address 2523 Northwest 11th Avenue, case number 000-61559, address 2523 Northwest 11th Avenue, page 154.
It's in the row.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Marisol Arboleda Diaz. I live at 1414 San Benito Ave. And I am here representing Mr. Ramon Diaz.
Guilty or not
Wait,
guilty?
are you,
Sorry.
Oh, I was
She
going
has
to.
a power?
There's a power of attorney.
Okay,
Are you guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
Thank you. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for comment.
Great, thank you.
Inspector, I guess you know the drill, states your name, and this is failure to maintain the lot, work performed without a permit, encroachment with a shed, work in the right of way, failure to maintain the exterior, construction in the right of way, and storage.
Inspector Lezama Central Office. The property, as per this morning, had already complied with a overgrown. They have removed most of the inside trash. They also removed the shed that it was encroaching. They only have the fence to be legalized and some structures that they're using as one of them is a laundry. And on the, I was looking for those pictures. On the right of way, they have placed some ramps on the sidewalk. They removed it as shown in the pictures. But when they removed it, they damaged the sidewalk. So they need to contact Public Works to see how they going to fix that part of the violations. And also they have some intentions to legalize the structures or demolish if it's not allowed.
I have a question for you, Inspector. Is the fence part of also the violation? Because
Yes,
it looks like a 6-foot fence and that's not allowed.
yes. It's a violation, so they're willing to comply with it also, but they're gonna need time.
Okay. Thank
How
you.
much time do you think that is a good time for them to get started, since they've already started working on some of the things?
180 days, it's gonna be good.
Okay, and we'd recommend 250 a day thereafter.
Okay. Any comments?
I'm glad that he's recommending 180 days because this gentleman that owns the property, he's an elderly man. I'm actually doing this as a friend to the family. He's been in and out of the hospital. He has some sort of mental illness going on. So it's been hard for him to understand that he has some violations. He did grant me power of attorney because he wants me, obviously, he wants to comply. This has been hindering his day-to-day activities. So we just want to do what's right at the end of the day.
So you're fine with 180 days?
I'm okay with 180 days. If we need extra time, we'll come back and ask. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and move to have the property survey and get the illegal little side shed demolished.
Thank you.
And the fence removed.
Mr. Diaz lives in the property?
Mr. Diaz does not live in the property.
Any further questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll move for 180 days and 250 a day.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have
I appreciate
180
it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Thank you, board.
Thank you. Next case, please.
Calling page 68, address 700 Northwest 7th Avenue, case number 000-62023, 700 Northwest 7th Avenue, page 68.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Please
My
state
name
your
is
and
Pavel
address.
Ibarra. I'm the owner of property 700 Northwest 7th Avenue. We plead guilty.
Guilty, you said? Thank you. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you.
Good evening, Inspector. If you can go ahead and state your name and then explain the violations as they relate to the work without a permit, the BTR, and the CU.
Okay. Good evening. 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲, City of Miami Co-Compliance. At the time I opened this case, I was on the task force or business compliance unit. I'm currently on the after hours team. Regarding the violations, there were several more violations that they've worked on. The work without a permit was for an open permit regarding the canopy. They have finalized that finally. A certificate of use and a business tax receipt was regarding a boat chartering business that was occurring at the property that we received a complaint for. Last we spoke with the property owner last week. They were not aware that I guess their tenant was still advertising the boat chartering property business on Groupon and 𝐌𝐢𝐚𝐦𝐢, so that has been removed. They're currently still in the process of removing all the boats. They do have a certificate of use and a business tax receipt for boat storage, but not for marina. So they're currently removing the boats from the water. We've spoken to them. I'd like to give them 60 days to comply. They are working on complying the violations.
Okay, so it'd be 60 days, $250. That would be the city's recommendation.
Is there anything, are you okay with that?
No, that's fine.
With our recommendation?
Yeah, 60 days.
I do have some questions. So the boats are still in the water? They're still like running this business out of?
So they're no longer running. There used to be a lot more boats. It's just, I guess it's taking them a little bit of time to get them out of the water.
I mean, do they not know where the ramp is to get the
Right,
boat out of the
so-
water? I mean, I'm sure they got them in there pretty
Right.
quickly.
So I did check today. I couldn't find the listings on the online. So
Okay.
they are working.
But the boats are still there?
Yes, correct. July, giving them
Okay.
60 days.
I'm going to make a motion for 30 days. And what's the maximum amount we can fine them if they don't get these boats out of the water so they're not annoying their neighbors?
Don't you have a motion on the table?
There's a motion.
I'm making a
Okay,
motion.
fair enough.
1,000 would be the commercial property, right?
Correct.
So that would be for a first-time offense, a minimum would be $1,000 a day.
So
I mean, I'm
sir-
sorry, that's the
That's-
maximum, that's the maximum you can fine on a first offense for a commercial property.
And he has rights as the property owner to also call to have these boats removed himself, right? I mean,
He can't.
Well,
But
I don't
they're-
know,
but
I have no
I'm just
idea.
saying-
No, you could be, maybe they're owned by other people, in which case, if he doesn't have
But I'm
a,
saying, but he could at
don't
least,
know.
he could at least make an attempt to
Some-
call the county.
Particularly with marine violation, it gets a little complicated.
You can't move, if it's not his, untitled under his name, he cannot move those boats. It has to
I'm
be.
the owner of the
you.
property, he's my tenant.
Right, I
It-
know,
it
but
de-
the
it depends
boats are
on
not
the,
yours.
Those are my boats.
Right, so you're not allowed to move them. They have to be the
So they're
actual.
his boats.
Are the
They're your boats?
Sir,
No.
sir, are the boats?
so it
He's
depends on the
subleasing.
bailment. So if you go back to, it depends on the bailment situation between where the boats are. Now, putting that part aside, it's also when you're trying to move a lot of boats to find another place to put them is not as easy it would seem. There are limited places in which you can do that. Now, apparently they've moved some of them, not all, but
But that's
it's up to
not,
you guys.
that's not, I mean, that's not his neighbor's fault. You know.
Yeah, no.
So we have a motion for 30 days, $1,000. Do I have a second? Motion dies. Do I have a new motion?
Make a motion for 60 days, $500 fine.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. You have 60 days. 60, which is what they recommended. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Good luck. Bye-bye. Next case, please.
Calling, I'm sorry,
They said no?
calling member John Kuhnel,
Yes?
calling member Martin Zilber. Thank you. Calling member Christy Tasker.
No.
Thank you. Calling member Brendan Bettencourt.
Yes.
Calling Chair Yvonne Bayona.
Yes.
Okay, it passes 4-1.
Thank you.
Calling next case,
Next case, please. Yeah.
page number 87, address 1870 Brickell Avenue. The case number is 000-64911. Address 1870 Brickell Avenue, page 87.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Oh, sorry.
You forgot your name, Brian?
Brian
Forgot
Dombrowski,
his name.
333 Southeast 2nd Avenue.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Thank you.
Good evening, Jocelyn Castillo, Code Compliance Southeast Office.
What do they need to do here, and how much time do you think they need?
Basically, this lot just has like rock, gravel, construction rocks. They need to remove it unless they don't have an active permit. I would like to recommend 30 days. You need to remove this. This case has been reset several times. That's why it's 30 days.
Mr. Brodsky, are you okay with that, or would you like to?
We're trying to find another place. They had some construction material, some gravel that was brought in pre-construction. They thought they'd have their permit sooner. Obviously, that didn't happen, so they're trying to find a spot to offsite it. So
So you need more than 30 days?
if we could get 60, I think that would be ideal.
Okay. Okay.
I hope you're not gonna put it in another empty lot in the city of Miami so you can have a fine somewhere else, right? You're not.
Yeah, the city is gonna recommend 60 days, $250 a day thereafter.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You have 60 days.
$1,000 per day? Oh.
He's also here for an extension of time.
Oh.
It's an add-on case, the second add-on case in the back of the agenda. The address is 3050 Biscayne Boulevard, Unit 103A. The case number is 000-53915. This is an extension of time. This is an add-on case. It says add-on 2. It's in the back of the agenda.
Please state your name and address.
Good evening, Board. Brian Dombrowski, 333 Southeast 2nd Avenue. This was an after-the-fact permit for a tenant at my client's property. They did cure the warrant violation for the outdoor seating. Those were all removed prior to coming to the hearing the first time. We did submit for our permit. We are down to just correcting some application documents. Building is our only pending discipline right now to pull our permit. It's an after-the-fact permit, so as soon as we can get that pulled, probably within the next 10 days, we can call for inspection. So 30 days, we'll have this wrapped up.
They do have the application filed. They do have plans filed.
Yes.
Thanks. Do we have a motion for the recommended 30 days? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Got 30 days.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a
night.
great day. Next case, please.
We're back to the to be heard. Calling page number 49, address 3361 Northwest 15th Street, case number 000-44317, address 3361 Northwest 15th Street, page 49.
Good evening. Please state your name and
María
address.
R. Díaz,
Address?
3361 Northwest 15th Street.
Guilty or not guilty?
Culpable.
Guilty. Okay, Inspector, if you could please state your name and let the board know what the work performed without a permit is and what they need to do. And any conversations you've had, how they're going.
All right. Giovanni Castillo, Co-Compliance Southwest Office. Wasn't able to go into the property, but from the outside, you can tell that they did closed off the garage, the front porch, on the right-hand side, one of the another arch, like another driveway. They enclosed all three of those. They put cement all across the front of the property, and they have a boat in front of the property as well.
Boat removed?
It was not.
Okay. So they do need to remove the boat as well, but they're not cited here for that.
For the
Sorry?
boat? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's there.
It says complied, though.
They moved it out for.
One day?
Right, but
Yeah,
that part was already
brought it
done,
right
so.
back.
So that's no longer complied.
So I want to make sure we adjudicate, so we don't play this cat and mouse game and they bring it back, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to adjudicate with the boat.
How much time do you recommend?
I mean, I've only spoken to them one time, but if they are here to get a permit, I'm gonna suggest 180 days.
They haven't filed anything right now since
Not that
last
I know
year?
of.
So it's been a
Nope.
year. Actually, it's past 1 year,
Correct.
a year and a couple of weeks.
If you give me a minute, I don't think there's anything.
There isn't.
Does Ms. Dia have any comments? This has been a 1-year violation.
She would like the contractor to speak on her behalf.
Who is she?
I'm the contractor's representative.
Okay, please state your name and address.
Jadri Diarmas, 502 East 18th Street, Hialeah, Florida, 33013.
Thank you.
I'm assisting her, of course, with all the, she received the notice in October, which was mailed September 30th. She never got an original April 7th notice.
We're not here for that. What are you doing in terms of complying?
Well, we applied for, the plans are to, she purchased the property in 2003 with the first enclosed porch. So that obviously she has to assume the violation.
So you're the runner, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know that they need that explanation, but you put in plans and all corrections are required.
Because
what have you responded for the corrections?
All it's missing is for them to clear the little corner for the stamp.
For the survey?
No, for the plans.
Yeah, you need plans approval. That's what you're saying. They're not approved yet.
Right.
Meaning electrical signature?
But she did get posted. She did get the notice. It's posted on the property the day she gets a violation.
Yep.
That is her fence.
We post.
We've already pled guilty, so I don't think it's an issue about notice.
That's on That's the April 7.
Okay. I don't know what happened to that, but
This one says
she says she
2/6.
never received the first one and she actually has the letter when the second one went out. That's when I started helping her. So basically it's that. We also noticed upon doing the plans for the enclosures that her concrete, it's not gonna meet like the driveway. That's not gonna meet code either. So it's not only whatever's in violation, we're gonna try to help her out with green areas and the concrete in the front as well.
When were you retained? Because this is a one-year-old violation.
Like I said, the original one, she
No,
did-
that's not my question.
When was I
Sorry.
retained?
Yes.
In October 4th.
And they immediately
of
filed
last year.
plans.
I presented
Madam
11/7.
Chair, they did file plans immediately. I can let you know
Yeah.
that. The plans went in right
The thing
away.
is that since it's so many other things we're trying to help her out with so she doesn't get future violations, the plans have taken like a little while to get put together. She actually has the physical ones here. These aren't digitally signed.
Right.
The new ones are in the system. It just came back with corrections that we need that
And what's,
corner
The electrical signature.
for the stamp. So
what is the problem with a boat if
they're trying to find a place to put it. It's very expensive. She's a widow. She doesn't really have much help from her daughter. It's her daughter's boat. And we were actually told until we, start working on stuff that we could leave the boat. That's what she was told.
You can't leave the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
So no, well, I'll let them know that at least that's one thing that while we get plans approved and all, she definitely needs to move it.
Do I have just any further questions for the board?
Yeah, the recommendation was 180 with 150.
Yes, it's a homestead.
Yes, homestead.
Motion as stated.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, Board.
Can I have Inspector Caesar? And also, calling next case, it's page 89, address 1210 Brickell Avenue, case number 000-65555, address 1210 Brickell Avenue, page 89.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Hector Gomez, 12042 Southwest, 126 Lane, Miami, Florida, 33186.
Mr. Gomez, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Thank you. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for comments.
Good evening, Jocelyn Castillo, Southeast Office. Basically, the violation here is a banner that was placed, I believe, end of October, November last year. I've been in contact with Mr. Gomez, but at this time, I believe he still does not have a permit for that banner. And the permit only lets you put it up for 30 days.
Right,
It's
the
been
banner
way
needs
past
to
that.
come down.
It needs to come down immediately.
This has been since September.
Like,
It's basically the size of it is too large and you can't keep it up like that. It's almost put it up there like it's a mural and this is not part of the mural program, so it's illegal. It needs to come down. The city would ask 30 days and $250 a day thereafter.
Mr. Gomez, any comments?
You said 30 days?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you
I
okay
don't know
with
what they
that?
want to do, but that's just, it's up to them.
Yeah, if it's 30 days, I mean, I think I've been stuck in one item on the, trying to get the permit, but 30 days, if I don't get the permit, I have plenty of time to get it down.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion as stated.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
30 days, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Next case, please.
Calling page 95, address is 890 Brickell Key Drive. The
going on
case
with
number is 000-52847, page 95, 890 Brickell Key Drive.
is on fire.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Ronnie Kurzman, 890 Brickell, Ronnie Kurzman, 890 Brickell Key Drive.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Thank you so much. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for comments.
Inspector Jocelyn Castillo, Southeast Office. This case was passed on the previous inspector, Christopher Pierre. It's basically to legalize the gates that were installed at the marina. Right now, they do have active permits. It's in revision. So I would like to give them 90 days to continue.
Okay, so that'd be 90 days, 250. I don't know how much time they need, but
Would you think 90 days would be suffice for you to get your permits for the gates?
I hope so. It's in front of Durham, so we got city approval already, and then we had to go to coastal.
maybe 120?
So I mean, it's
Maybe 120 since it's with
been a lot
Durham?
of seagrass studies and
Yeah.
all kinds of fun stuff
Hopefully
for gates, but I think that we're at the end of the process. So
You didn't
120 would be better than 90.
Yeah.
You didn't remove any mangroves, right?
I'll make a motion for 180 days, to give you 180 days because you're dealing with Durham. So that you don't have to worry about this. You can worry about trying to get your information from Durham. 180 days, and what's the max fine?
Well, the maximum would be 1,000. They don't have any prior history.
Okay, 250 thereafter.
Do I have a motion, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
180 days. Thank you. Good luck. Next case, please.
Calling page 51, address 54 Northwest 34th Street, case number 000-40498, page 51, address 54 Northwest 34th Street.
Good evening.
Good
Please state
evening.
your name and address.
Daniel Alonso, 54 Northwest 34th Street.
Mr. Alonso, guilty or not
Guilty.
guilty? Thank you. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for comment.
Inspector, if you just go ahead and state your name and then say the violation is failure to maintain a lot, just go ahead and explain.
Yes, Inspector Tiana Hallman, Co-Compliance, Central Office. The situation there, it's not the owner per se, it's the tenants. They're leaving the yard. They're leaving the yard a mess. There's outside storage. There was paint peeling. A lot of trash, even in front of the property. So I passed by today and it looks so much better. There's just one small little area underneath the carport. It's still a little bit of storage there. If you could just remove that and it'll be fine. I can comply it.
How long would you recommend? 30 days or 60 days?
30 days.
Make a motion for 30 days.
We'd recommend 250. It's
250 thereafter.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You okay with 30 days? Okay. It's only a little bit you got to take out, so thank you. Next case.
Calling page 47, address 1603 Northwest South River Drive, case number 000-71318, page 47, address 1603 Northwest South River Drive, case number 000-71318.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Gene Alley Good, 1603 Northwest South River Drive.
Mr. Allen Good, guilty or not guilty?
I'm going to plead guilty to most offenses and not guilty to a couple of them. Yeah. We're not going to be able to name.
Well, there's only two.
How about guilty and we just make this easy for
Guilty
everybody?
with an
There we go.
explanation.
All
Thank
right,
you
perfect.
so much. We'll let the city present its case. We'll come back to you for
Sure.
comment.
Inspector, if you can just state your name and then go through the work without a permit and whatever the storage, outside storage issue is.
Okay. Good evening, 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲, City of Miami Co-Compliance. At the time I opened this case, I was in the Southwest office. I'm currently on the night team. Regarding the two pending violations, the work without a permit was performed for a carport and the outside storage for shipping containers on the property that Mr. Olagood tried to get permitted, but the city was not issuing permits for.
Okay. So he needs to get the permit
Either he needs to get
for
a
the
permit.
carport
Yeah.
and he needs to remove the shipping containers.
So
And I'm in line with a number.
So,
I'm waiting on the city.
yeah, well, yeah, we all are.
I'm asking for 180 days, make this quick. I've got to bring a crane in and other equipment in order to comply and move all this. I just found out about all this over the Christmas holidays. Like everybody else, I have a lot of other personal matters that I'm tending to. If you could grant me that amount of time, I'm sure I can bring everything into compliance.
Thank you. Do I
There's
have a
nothing that work with our permits then.
And this is
Yeah,
a
the
homestead
carport.
property?
I'll make a motion for 180 days, $150 thereafter.
Do I have a second?
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
180 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Have a good day.
Calling next case. If you're here for 21 Northwest 44th Avenue, please come up. 21 Northwest 44th Avenue. Next case I'm calling is page, it's the add-on in the back of the agenda, to be heard. The address is 3170 Southwest 8th Street, case number 000-72882. 3170 Southwest 8th Street. It's an add-on in the back of your
Page 10
agenda.
in the back. Thank you. Good evening.
Madam Chair.
Name
board
and
members.
address, please.
David 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲, 2333 Brickell Avenue, on behalf of the property owner.
Mr. Guzman,
Yes, ma'am.
guilty or not guilty?
Guilty with an explanation.
Thank you. Let the city.
It's my first time before court enforcement, so yeah.
Thank you.
Inspector, if you can state your name and then go, there are numerous violations, so if you can just go through basics of what they need to do, what's wrong.
Vanessa Pino, Code Compliance Southeast Office. So I cited this property in December. This years ago used to be a car dealer. The tenant decided to remodel the entire structure, do restriping, remodel the inside. He was also renting a space to a food truck. And he started operating even after I cited, as well as unsafe structures. Eventually, we got a cease and desist order done. I believe it was March 13th. And they still have all the stuff inside. It's here. You see, it was empty. It is now fully furnished. Even has vending machines inside for the car dealership. They put up signs that say that they're open. They were, like I said, served with the cease and desist on March 13th, but there's still vehicles there. The food truck is gone. And they've just been going back and forth, giving false information to Mr. Guzman, and not complying at all, basically.
So have they put in for any permits at this point? Or are they processing through unsafe structures?
No.
All right. How long would you recommend at this time?
I'm not sure how long, because I want to make it clear that they're not supposed to be there. They're not supposed to have signs that say that they're open. The vehicles are still being kept there, which isn't allowed either. They applied for a CU. They were told that they needed a warrant. Then they applied again for a CU and started operating. They don't have a CU. They don't have a BTR. The only thing that's been really taken care of by the tenants is that they told the food truck gentleman that he needed to leave. He's been trying to get them to comply, but they make stuff up. They pulled an AC permit under a different folio and said, "Oh yeah, we took care of everything." And that's basically what's been.
So would you recommend 30 days for compliance, $250 a day thereafter?
No, ma'am. Madam Chair.
Hold on a second. I was asking the
Excuse me.
inspector that question, what she would recommend, not, I know you don't want that. I hear you.
Okay.
But I'm asking her a question. Thank you.
Okay, Rachel.
I'm not sure if that would be enough time, because it's my understanding, and you can ask him. I believe they're gonna proceed to evict the tenant. So I think they need to deal with that to then deal with the work without a permit and the other stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Guzman, anything you'd like to say or you'd like to add? And evictions do take some time, so.
Madam Chair, I want to first start by saying that I want to thank Inspector Pino and Ms. Marquez for good communication, their time, and their patience. We are completely aware that as property owner, we're fully responsible. So we are evicting, that's been already filed through the courts 10 days ago, not last
Have a
week.
hearing date, or you don't have a hearing date?
We still don't have a hearing date. But we are evicting them because she's completely right. Everything that she says, it's true. And plus, on top of that, they have 6 months of not paying rent.
Has the tenants been served yet? Do you know?
They have been served.
Okay,
yes.
great. So
It's
you
not
did
gonna
get the
done in
summons
30
back?
days. It's not gonna get done in 30 days.
Yes.
No, I
No,
know
it's
that,
not.
but at least they got served.
They got
So
served.
That's
yes.
what I'm trying to prove.
60 or 90 maybe, depending.
Once we have plans, we have surveys, we haven't lost time. We've been working with to get that done. We're ready to submit them by next Tuesday to the City of Miami Building Department. So I'm respectfully requesting 180 days to be able to put everything in compliance.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do I have
City
a
would ask
motion?
for a little bit less, just because, although, and not as something to the owner, but they're also dealing with the tenant, and so something that, they have to come back, and if
And
the city
inform
needs
us.
to assist in some other way to sort of keep it in check. Even if it's 120, it's fine, but just,
Okay.
it's-
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for 90 days, 500.
Do I have a second? Motion dies. Do I
I'll
have a
move
new motion?
120 days.
I was second.
And how much per diem?
It's a commercial, 250.
250. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
So just to understand, we have 120 days to put in compliance.
And,
If
right.
not, then it's 150 per day.
It's
But-
250 per day unless you
250,
request an
250.
extension of time.
After the 100.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Just come back with plenty of time to request an extension if
Yep.
you're not in compliance.
Yeah, make sure you request extension by 119 days. Okay.
Next case, please.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your
Good
time.
luck. with
Calling
the eviction.
page 55, address 479 Northeast 30th Terrace, Unit 4, page 55, case number 000-37586, page 55.
This one is going to be abstention.
Abstention.
Fly through it. Is it you, Tiana?
Almond.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, please state your name and address.
So my name is Rodrigo Aguilar. My address is 850 Euclid Avenue, Miami Beach, Florida 33139. I'm
what is-
representing the tenant, but
He doesn't have authority,
you
so
don't
we'll
have
just hear it in
authority.
absentia?
Yeah.
No problem. Inspector, can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Tiana Hallman, co-compliance, central office.
Did you cite the aforementioned property for failure to have the BTRs?
Yes,
I guess not only were they not displayed, but there weren't BTRs or certificates of use as required. Is that correct?
yes,
And that's for the business, what was the name of it? Is it Vita?
it's La Vida. Is it
Okay,
A Greece supermarket? A
okay.
Greek supermarket?
Vita Italian Market.
There you go.
Vita
Thanks.
Italian Market.
Okay, the Vita Talon Market. All right.
That's correct.
And located in Exhibit A are all the photographs showing that the market's there. It's running. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the licenses to be running. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And Exhibit B shows the owner of record along with the Sunbiz report for the registered agent for the actual property itself. And C are all the notices that were posted on the property, mailed to the registered agent of the owner, as well as the summons, which was done the same way for tonight. Is that correct?
yes,
All right. Have you had any contact with anybody from the business?
yes. I spoke with the Claudia McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if she's the owner or the tenant, but she is trying to obtain her CU. She had a little bit of issues with DERM, but they
Okay.
have pushed it through, and now she's paying for the CU.
Okay, so they're well on their way.
They're
All
on
right.
their
At this
way,
time, the
yes.
city would seek to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
And based upon what you've said, I guess the city would ask for a finding of guilt, and I think 90 days if they're through Durham, and
That's fine.
250 a day thereafter, it should be plenty of time.
Yes.
Should they not be operating as they don't have a BTR and a?
Well, they shouldn't be, but, you know,
That is my question.
yes.
Until, even though we give them 90 days.
They should not be operating, but,
Correct, they should not be operating.
The 90 days is.
but neither I nor you, or a court, I guess, could shut them down.
Is there anything you'd like to say in behalf of who you're representing?
No, she only said like she already paid. She was just waiting to get approved the payment, but she received an email back to say to contact the city tomorrow to see it's already approved for the code of use.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll move for 90 days and 250.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, you do? All in favor?
Aye.
You have 90 days.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Calling page 79, address 111 Northeast 32nd Street, case number 000-75881, address 111 Northeast 32nd Street, page 179.
This is also abstention.
Good evening. I'm
Good evening.
Dr. Neda Bamadi. I'm the owner of the dental practice at 111 Northeast 32nd Street.
My apologies, Melanie. May I have the page number?
Page 79.
Thank you. All right, Inspector, can you state your name for the record?
Yes. Inspector Tiana Hallman, co-compliance, central office.
And did you cite this property for the property itself for failure to have a certificate of use, failure to have a business tax receipt, and for placing up a sign without having a permit? Is that correct?
Yes.
And this is the dental office, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so the owner who's here is running it without proper city licenses, is that correct?
Yes, at the time.
All right, Exhibit A, do they have it now?
They have a CU BTR now, still working on their sign permit.
Okay, so,
So they complied with the CU and the BTR.
well, I'm glad they had the CU and the BTR. So in terms of the sign, have they put in their application for the sign?
Yes. The application is.
Well, I have to ask her because it's in
Oh,
absentia, so it's all right though. All
Yes.
right, so they've applied, they just don't have a finalized permit yet. Okay,
Yes.
good. Exhibit B shows who owns the property as well as the registered agent for that property, and Exhibit C are all the notices that were sent and posted on the property. Is that correct?
Yes.
At this time, the city would seek to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
Okay, so they've complied 2 of the 3 violations. Thank you very much. And they're finishing up on the sign. How long do you think they need to finish that up?
90 days.
Okay, so we'd ask for 90 days and 250.
Thank you. Are you okay with 90 days for?
Yes, because it's already in
process?
progress and I'm just waiting for the final inspection.
Thank you.
It should
Do I
be
have
good.
a motion?
Well, is there anything else she wants to say? Do you want to say anything else?
No.
Okay, no, okay. You're
Do
just,
I have a motion?
okay. A motion for 90 days, 250 thereafter.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. You have
Thank
90
you.
days.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye, you too.
Calling next case. Page number 185, address 21 Northwest 44th Avenue, case number 000-42449, address 21 Northwest 44th Avenue, page 185.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Rodolfo Martin, 189-31 Belmont Drive.
This is also an absentia. He has a power of attorney which is incomplete. So it's going to be heard in absentia.
Inspector, can you state your name for the record?
I'm Inspector Falcon, Southwest Office.
Did you cite the aforementioned property for work performed without a permit?
That's correct.
And what was the work that was performed without a permit?
It was windows and doors.
Windows and doors?
Yes.
About the front of the property, it's all cemented. It's no grass there.
They were cited also for illegal storage, but they comply already.
Okay. And Exhibit A is a series of photographs showing this property, and it shows the windows and the doors. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Exhibit B shows the owner of record, and Exhibit C is the summonses that were sent and the notices that was posted and sent on the property as well. Is that correct?
Correct.
At this time, the city would seek to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
Did they, I don't know, can't remember if you already said this. Did they apply for permits?
They have a process number open. Yes. Like a year ago.
All right, hold on.
Since April to 23.
This is 21 Northwest 44th Avenue. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ready to say final inspections finalized. Hold on. I'm just checking something, sorry.
Final inspections are finalized, November 22. That's 2 years
And
ago.
look, it says deck, slab, roofing, all kind of things.
All right, so it's currently, I'm just checking, it's currently in applicant corrections. It was accepted in July of 2023, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And they just haven't done anything since.
That was the wrong address.
Well, that's a wrong address.
Hmm?
That's why.
Oh, that you guys were looking at? Okay. All right. Just to let the board know, the last corrections that went back and forth were in March of 2024, so they are actively, why the permit's taking a long time, I don't know. It looks like they changed their scope of work to do more things in August, so to add more time, and now they're in, so, okay.
So the permit in question is for exterior doors, windows, and skylight. That's what it shows. What about the slab in the front yard? Is that part
No,
of?
it was not in the violation.
It was.
Me?
I know. I want to ask him.
So, good evening, everyone. We were brought on February of this year because the previous contractor XYZ. And since then, the project has morphed into the issue we're having now. We have the slab on plans.
You do?
Yeah, it's been reviewed, but now the city's questioning the entire duplex.
Correct.
Because they have it listed as a single family residence, but it's been a duplex. There are no records, and they're asking for us to present documents from the
prove.
70s.
Right.
So,
With all of that,
This is a complicated matter.
what do you think, 120?
because the
And it's gonna
windows
take time.
brought on
We can start with, would recommend 120 days, 250 a day thereafter, and obviously if they're going to need more time, to come back for more time.
Yep. Do I
Just
have
to
a
get
motion?
started, because
A
if they're going to
motion
have
as
to start.
stated.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
If you come back the next time, sir, make sure you have that power of attorney to witnesses, because otherwise, for an extension of time, you can't do it in absentia.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Calling page 82, the address is 4332 Northwest 11th Place. Address is, case number is 000-62936. Address 4332 Northwest 11th Place, page 82.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please state your name and address.
Raymond Del Toro, 4332 Northwest 11th Place. I'm in
Guilty
Florida,
or not
33.
guilty?
I already fixed it. I took care of it.
I know.
I'm sorry, Melanie, what page again?
I'm sorry, page 82.
No,
82.
right now, if I took care of it, so I was guilty, I guess I'm not now.
Hold on,
Is
hold
the
on.
inspector here?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he was just here.
82, right? I just don't We want to
call
say the next one, and then we'll come right back to him.
So my next cases will be extension of time cases.
We can do a few while we
I'll
wait.
show you the pictures.
No, hold on, hold
We gotta
on.
wait for the inspector.
Sir,
Thank you.
give us a minute. We're gonna
Have
bring
a
the
seat for a
inspector. He needs to
second.
be
We'll call you
here.
back up.
If you have complied, you have nothing to worry.
Right.
You
And we'll-
moved the cars and everything else. As long as the inspector's been out there to look at it.
Right.
We just gotta
It's-
check.
Moving to extension of time, this is page 195. Address is 212 Northwest 15th Street. Case number is 0003935. Address 212 Northwest 15th Street. Carla Martinez. This is extension of time.
Thank you. Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Hi, my name is Carla Martinez. My address is 2730 Southwest 96th Avenue.
How much time are you requesting?
I think 90 days.
What have you done so far?
Randy.
We got the approved plans. I mean, we got the okay from the unsafe structures hearing back in July, August. So we've been working on the property since then. We
Okay.
had to, in one of the inspections for electrical, the rough inspector suggested that we needed to revise the electrical plans in order to
Move forward.
move forward. It was a partial okay. So we did that. We got those back last week. So right now, we need like a main disconnect. So the contractor's quoting and figuring out all that stuff. We also had to revise the plans for windows. So we already submitted for the sub-permit, and we should be good for that, and we just call for that inspection. We already passed plumbing rough, and we have mechanical down. So if we're able to call electrical rough, pass it, we can move on to, I guess, framing, and then it should be easier.
What
after
have you
that.
done regarding the outside storage?
It does not look anything like that at all. It's beautiful, it's white, it's painted, the doors are nice installed, the windows are nicely installed, the railings are in. We need to request those permits. It's beautiful.
But you
Who's
need
your
to
contractor?
report it to the inspector. It's not, you will never
Oh,
comply.
yes, I speak to Genesis.
What is your contractor telling you? How long will it take them to finish everything?
We're trying to work with the timeline that you guys are giving us. I have my next hearing in July for unsafe structures, so we're just pushing our people to get it done.
We recommend 120 days.
Do I have a motion for 120 days?
120
I'll move.
days.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
120 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was my only extension of time that signed in. I'll go back to calling that to be heard.
Yes, please.
The inspector is back, okay?
Inspector is back.
Okay, so
Procedure.
calling page 82, the address is 4332 Northwest 11th Place. Case number 000-62936. Address 4332 Northwest 11th Place, page 82.
Hello
Good
again.
evening again.
Hi.
Please state your name and address.
Raymond Del Toro, 4332 Northwest 11th Place,
Jinx.
Miami, Florida, 33127.
Guilty or not guilty?
Those are the two
I was
options.
guilty, yeah, but I already took care of it. Yes.
Okay. Let the city present its
Okay,
case.
Mr. Caesar.
Inspector Caesar with the City of Miami Code Compliance Department After Hours Bravo Team.
What's the status of the property? He says he's complied.
I did go by the property yesterday and it was in violation. The property owner just showed me photos of the property today with a date stamp that the vehicles are no longer there. I informed them that I have to personally go out to the property and take my own pictures of compliance before I can close out the case.
Okay, so was the property complied when it was supposed to be complied?
No, because I went there yesterday and it was still, vehicles were still there.
Yeah, I'm over today.
All right, so we again, obviously, as you're required to comply by a certain date, which didn't happen, so we would ask for a finding of guilt and 30 days to comply, which the inspector can go out tomorrow and comply it. And $250 a day after in case, you know, things show up.
Okay.
But be advised that they will be going back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
You know, for a while to make sure that they don't reappear because they can rescind that compliance. Just want you to know.
Or
It's done in bad faith.
Or worse yet, not rescind,
Yeah.
but give you a repeat. That's worse.
And then you're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah,
get
it
a
won't
harsh
happen
fine.
again, trust me.
Good.
Learn my lesson.
Are you okay with the 30
30
days?
days? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Do I
make
have a
the
motion?
motion as stated by the city attorney.
I'll second Christie's.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling next case, same inspector. Case number, the address, I'm sorry, the page number is 84. Address is 4331 Northwest 11th Place. Case number 000-62925. Address 4331 Northwest 11th Place, page 84.
Good evening.
4331. Mi nombre es Jubet Vilche. Mi dirección es 4331 Northwest 11 Place, Miami, Florida 33127.
Guilty or not guilty?
Sí.
Guilty. Thank you. We'll let the city present its case.
Inspector Caesar with the City of Miami Code Compliance Department After Hours Team. The property was cited for failure to maintain illegal outside storage, a commercial vehicle on the property, and also vehicle parked on an unapproved surface. However, the parking on an unapproved surface and the commercial vehicle has been removed from the property.
Were they removed after the compliance date of the NOV?
Yes,
So
that commercial vehicle was removed.
So
after the
therefore,
compliance date.
we will continue, we'll seek an adjudication, even though it's been removed.
Okay. Now, the property owner did advise, similar to my previous case, that they cleaned up the property and removed the illegal outside storage from the property. I informed them that I do need to visit the property to verify compliance on my own. They showed photos of the property being cleaned up, but
Would the photographs that were shown to you, which
today.
obviously have happened after the compliance date and maybe happened between yesterday and today,
that's correct.
which is still good, would those photos comply the case as a whole?
From what they showed me on their phone, yes, but I would prefer
I'm
to
not
take
holding,
my.
no, I'm not holding you, I just want to know in terms of, you know, so in other words, if you know, they pled guilty and we say 30 days, you know, $250 a day thereafter,
I'm
it's
okay
going to be
with that.
fine, like, you're
Yes.
going out tomorrow, that's all I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Ask her if she lives in the property. That's
Yes.
what I thought. Thank you.
It is
Does she
not
have a-
homesteaded, just to let you know.
Well, it's not, but the addresses of the owner mailing and the address of the
Yeah,
property.
yeah, I do see it, so yeah, yeah.
Ask her if there's anything she would like to add.
Very good.
Okay.
I'll make the
Tell her
motion.
that they're recommending 30 days, even though she's already cleaned the lot, but he has to go there and see it.
Confirm.
Because they showed it to him, complied on the phone. So at the time that he went there, they had not complied. So do I have a motion?
Motion, 30
Second.
days.
30 days, 150?
30 days, 150.
You have a second?
Oh, second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
She has 30 days to comply. So he has to go back and take pictures. Okay.
If you are here for 590 North Southwest 23rd Avenue, please come. Okay, calling the mitigations. This is page number 1. This is in the city view agenda. This way, sir. Mr. Estrada. Just a moment. This is page 1 in the city view agenda, address 2715 Northwest 24th Avenue, Case number CE 2018-025-087. This is page 1 in the City View agenda. This is a mitigation. It is at 1,550 days old.
Can you, what was the address?
2715 Northwest.
Omar
84th Avenue.
Castillo,
Thank you.
2715 Northwest 24 Avenida.
Melanie,
That's name and address, you were, okay, good. Extension, no, this is.
This is
a mitigation.
Mitigation.
Okay.
did he ask
This
him if
property
he lives on the
was-
property?
he qualifies for the,
Ask him if he lives in this property, if that's his home.
it's not, it's a different address.
No,
Yes.
he does.
He doesn't.
He would like his contractor to speak on his behalf.
No, he needs to answer the question. Does he live on the property? He's here for mitigation, so
Familia.
it's one unit on the property.
Oh, but they're two different addresses here. The property address and the mailing of the stuff is two different addresses.
That doesn't mean, well, it's up for you to decide.
Can't live in two places at the same time.
So he's,
Yes, but you can have two mailing addresses.
Ask him why
It
he
could be
has
his
two.
business address.
Ask him why he has a mailing address and a home address.
Registered agent doesn't need to be in the same address.
let me see if
Look at him.
it's homesteaded.
Come on.
That's a great question.
1,550.
His daughter lives at that address,
His
and
daughter lives.
then he has the other address where he lives to receive the mail.
He qualifies for us to do whatever.
Yeah, he qualified anyway.
Whatever we want
Yeah.
to do.
He qualifies
So-
because it used to
Does
be
someone
a
decide?
homestead property or single family.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
So ask, I will move for, I'm gonna do
Well, we need
something
to
of
ask the city-
$500.
Wait, before you say anything, let's ask the city first, what expenses they've gone through, and then we'll take it from there.
And before I speak, because I understand that the gentleman brought his son-in-law, right? Is that his
His
son-in-law?
son-in-law, my mistake.
So that's the son-in-law. Can you go ahead and put on the record, what were the factors that impacted that compliance took this long? So state your name for the record, so. And
Hello, my name is 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲. I live in 2715 Northwest 24 Avenue. That's his property. I'm married to his daughter. And so the problem he had is that he had someone living there before a long, long time ago, like many, many years ago, out of the goodness of his heart. And the person started doing a driveway all of a sudden without his permission. Then he got in trouble for doing the driveway, so he hired someone to fix the problem, but they took advantage of him. You know, where we come from, Honduras, we usually are taught to like take care of our problems and don't talk about it. So that's what happened. He didn't tell me about it until I find out when, you know, it was very, very late. And so he has depression problems and a bunch of other issues, you know, health issues. And so I stepped in, kicked the people out of the property, moved into the property and fixed the problem. Everything has been fixed and the property looks much better and like the permits has been closed and everything. So we are hoping to get this, if you can help us with this today, you know.
What are the costs that the city has incurred, if any, in this matter?
You know that I've gone on the record that after, this is a 2000, make it the case.
18.
Yeah, so there's expenditures or et cetera that the city clearly has incurred. And the total amount is 387,500. Code is going to request that it's mitigated to $1,000. And it's up to the board to go further if so.
I was asking 500.
500.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Do we have a motion?
500.
You made it for
He
500.
made a
Oh, you
motion
made it
for
for 500.
500.
Yeah.
The city recommended 1,000.
I'll second.
You'll second it? All in favor?
Aye.
So that's 500?
500.
500.
Yep.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Wait for your order.
Congratulations. Okay.
Yep, you have to wait for documents there from the young lady.
Sir, let me, so this is awesome, but I want to make sure that you understand you have 20 days.
Yes.
Otherwise it reverts to full amount.
Yes, no, we'll take care of it.
Okay, so congratulations, okay?
Well, she'll explain to you how to do that.
Miss Dooley, I have a lien that was released already, and the property owner would like to speak to you. Can I have him come over to you?
Sure.
It's the mitigation in City View on page 10.
Page 10.
Page 10.
You can go over and speak with them.
What is the address?
That one
You
is
want to speak to
590 Southwest
Let's speak to
23rd Avenue.
Okay.
It was already released and the case is closed.
Oh, an ex mitigation.
Okay, so I'm gonna call the next case. This is also the City View agenda. It's page 8. The address is 3065 Kirk Street. Case number is CE 2017-009-069. Address 3065 Kirk Street, page 8. This is a mitigation. It is at 1,012 days.
This is a 2017 case.
Yeah, it's homestead.
This is also homesteaded, okay?
Go to images, go to images.
What, good evening, please state your name and address.
Tony Ottavio, 3065 Kirk Street, Miami, Florida,
Thank you.
33133.
Thank you so much.
Who am I talking to?
Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes.
Why this taken so long?
I am as guilty as sin. I'm guilty not only of the offense, I'm guilty of being ignorant about the process.
Well, a lot of people are. It's kind of
No
difficult.
more
and
than me, let me
complicated.
tell you. My mother thought I was smart. I'm glad. She lived to 102.
Wow.
So she was pretty
God.
smart.
God
So
bless.
I ain't that smart.
So how did you
I
find
took-
out when did you need to do something about?
I took down this tree. We got this house on a foreclosure. We came to this house from an apartment. Apartments don't have trees. I have no idea about tree permits. Totally oblivious. There's a picture there of the tree. I went through 5 arborists. 5. One guy cheated me and told me he was an arborist. In fact, I have his picture of that guy climbing my tree.
Oh, my God.
That's the guy. I can't see his face, so I can't find him. He took $1,000 from me and disappeared.
Oh, boy.
And I went through 4 more. I finally found one guy who went through the process, got the after-fact permit, did all the things right. We talked to Mrs. Marquez from the code enforcement, and she said, I see all your permits are approved. She released the permit. I was doing some electrical work. The guy doing the electrical work said, hey, you got a lien on your house. For what? The thing is, somebody put that on there, right? I said, well, can you take it off now that I'm in full compliance? She sent an inspector down, Mr. Gustavo, who went through the whole thing. I took down this one tree. The tree was not even on my property.
It looked like it was a dead tree as well.
It was close enough that they made me responsible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
Now, tell you what, I'm used to these aberrational things because after 9 years in the Army, I've seen everything. Okay?
Thank you for
Believe
your
me.
service.
Thank you, Ms.
For your
Alcom.
service, sir. Well,
So you're gonna see more good things, because I'm gonna go on the record and, with all due respect, I would
Yes.
have a reduction from 151,800 to 1,000. That's a 99% reduction, but I suspect that they're gonna do better than me.
of
So-
course, we
I
are.
think so.
So
I'm gonna make
I
a
yield.
motion for
You ain't gonna find
$0.
anybody-
I'll second that 0 motion.
All
of
in
Christie.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There you go, 0.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you
for your
so
And
much.
keep you good,
Wait for
good
your
hands.
order.
I enjoyed
Wait for
every
your
minute,
order. We have to give you
even
the
when they
order.
were trying to kill me.
Hey, don't take down any more trees, okay? We don't want to see you back.
Unbelievable.
And just,
Thank you so much.
just for the record, on
Please wait for the
page 10,
document.
And the arborist
590.
that cheated me, I got his picture in one of those. He's
Saw it.
climbing my tree.
Your dead tree.
I gotta listen to the boss.
yeah, she's kicking you out.
Thank you. Next case, please.
I just want to announce for the record on page 10, 590 Southwest 23rd Avenue, that lien is already being released pursuant to Senior Assistant City Attorney Deanna Rasco. So I let the gentleman go, and I'm going to send him all the documents tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, calling page 6. This is a mitigation city view agenda. Address 1300 Northwest 43rd Street. Case number CE 2015-019062. Page 6, address 1300 Northwest 43rd Street. This is a mitigation. This is again, it's page 6. The total days is 1,182 days.
This is a homestead property, single-family duplex. Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Good morning.
No, good evening.
Good afternoon, Madam
It
Chair.
has nothing to do with it.
Sorry about that. Bert Hernandez on behalf of the property owner. This is a single-family home.
Yep, I see that here.
Ventila.
Why did they take so long to comply?
Okay, so the violation goes back to 2015.
Right?
My client buys the property in 2019, complies in 2019. She demolishes the property, cleans the land, and that's where we're at. She came in, took care of the problem, inherited the problem, and that's why we're here to mitigate now. By the way, we're in the process to submit plans, but we can't progress until the violation is taken care of.
Right, the plans sit there and until, well, they start doing, they have to clear this out to
What
to
is
get
the
the permit
city,
issued.
what is the city recommending
He's calculating.
for fees and
Give me,
that
give
they
me a
have
second,
incurred?
because I do have a recommendation. So the accrual, total accrual is 295,500. Is that accurate? Mr. Hernandez? Okay, all right. So the city is recommending a 98% reduction. We'll put this at $10,000. And this is non-homesteaded, so that's why I'm
No,
recommending.
corporation owns it too.
That's what I recommend that.
Yeah. Do I have a motion?
But it does qualify for less, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
What?
Does qualify.
That's a
It does
97.
qualify, yes,
Yeah,
it does.
it does.
That's the
It does
reason,
qualify.
that's the
You-
reason it's 10,000. It's
That's
a
the
vacant
reduction.
lot, this prior immediate use was a single-family home.
So the city's entitled to make a recommendation.
Right, no, I got it. I'll move for 2,500.
Madam Chair, and
Do I have
it's an individual, not a corporation that owns it.
Well, no, not, that's what it says here, corporation.
That,
Sysamax Inc.
Who owns the property?
Well, no, currently, I think it's.
That's
is
what it says on our booklet.
Owned by
It's a corporation.
1300 Northwest 43rd Street LLC. Let me just check.
Right, it's called Sysamax Inc.
No, that was the original violator.
Dominga Garcia is
Oh,
the owner
okay.
of the property right now, who's the one that bought
I
it
have
in
a motion.
2019.
So is the
Thanks.
owner a limited liability corporation or is
No.
the owner? Okay,
It's an
not.
individual. She's an individual lady.
Because on our document,
No, it's owned by a corporation. So I'm letting you know.
yeah, we see it owned by a corporation.
It is owned by 1300 Northwest. She may own it, but it's in a corporation name.
I got you.
That's all we're saying, yeah.
Do I have a motion of
It's
2,500
already
on
been-
the
it's
floor?
already been
Do I have a
seconded.
second?
I've already seconded it.
You seconded?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Everybody's talking at the same time. All in favor?
No.
No.
Roll call vote.
Doing roll call. Calling member Martin Zilber.
Yes.
Calling member Christy Tasker.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Brenda Betancourt.
No.
Thank you. Calling Vice Chair John Cornell.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm calling Chair Yvonne Bayona.
No.
Thank you. It passes 3-2.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling next mitigation.
Right? 20
This is-
days. Right, thank you.
Calling next mitigation. This is page 4, City View Agenda, address 1798 Northwest 51st Street. I'm sorry, this is page 4, address 1798 Northwest 51st Street. Case number CE 2019-012699, page 4, 1798 Northwest 51st Street.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Claudia Garcia. For property 1798 Northwest 51st Street, Miami, Florida 33142.
Okay, and this is, how many days?
It's a T3.
No, I know. How many days is this, No, I know. No, it's okay, Melanie.
On my own
How many
world.
days are they,
This is page 4. This is 151 days.
The lien is only $37,750.
what is the city recommending?
City recommends a reduction to $5,000, no less than that.
Do I have a motion?
You just got somebody at $10,000 for 100.
I made a recommendation and you guys,
Then I move for 500 then.
you can do whatever. You know, we've had the conversation.
500.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nope.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
The question.
This is owned by a
Calling
corporation.
member Brenda Betancourt.
No, he has a question.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Do you live there?
No, I'm here on behalf of the owner.
This is a business.
It's an LLC.
A corporation.
Why so low?
We manage the unit. I mean, I manage the unit.
So, motion dies.
It was a first and a
Only two
second,
people,
so
first and a second.
you have to do the vote.
All, yeah,
I don't think we voted.
first and second.
We gotta do
All
a
in
voice call
favor?
vote.
All in favor? No?
Yes.
No?
No.
Roll call?
Calling member Brenda Betancourt.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Christy Tasker.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Martin Zilber.
No.
Okay. Calling Vice Chair John Kunil.
No.
Okay. And calling Chair Yvonne Bayona.
No.
Okay. Okay, it fails 3-2.
Do I have a new motion?
Want to make a motion?
I'll move what I did on the last one, 2,500.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not even gonna vote. It's not even count.
Half of what the city
Do
recommends?
you want, yeah, do you want to take roll call because she's not voting?
So are you abstaining from voting?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
abstaining to voting.
So when we abstain from voting, I need you guys to fill out my form. It's giving a reason why you're abstaining. So I'll give you that form. in
Okay,
just a
so I will
moment.
say no,
Okay,
to
perfect.
make your life and my life easier.
No, it's fine. Either way it goes, just for clarity of the record. So again, calling member Vice Chair John Kunil.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Martin Zilber.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Christy Tasker.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Brenda Betancourt.
No.
And calling Chair Yvonne Bayona.
Yes.
Okay, it passes 4-1.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, calling next case. This is a code check mitigation. This is page 208. The address is 5804 Northeast 2nd Avenue. Case number 00008823, page 208, address 5804 Northeast 2nd Avenue. This is at
Good evening.
This is at 154 days. 154 days.
This is page 208, correct?
Page 208.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please
My
state
name-
your name.
My name is Robert Ziem. I'm the sole owner of the property. I'm guilty by affiliation since I'm ultimately responsible for the property, though it was leased and the tenant did not comply. Whatever was in my power, we remedied right away. There were 4 items of the violation, namely the swale area, which was unkept, that was remedied right away, overgrowth, remedied right away, and the lot was not registered, which was done the next day. The shipping containers, of
60%.
course, was not an easy task to deal with because they're 4 large shipping containers. And we urged the tenant to remedy this immediately without having any cooperation from them. And my attorney's here. He has all the timelines and can further explain. Thank you.
Okay.
Is this single family?
No, but 60% is what we can do with 154 days.
You need to go by the chart.
It will be 23,100.
There's no exceptions on this one?
No. So we go to the little
Well, just tell them. Do you understand?
60%.
We have to go
He
by-
knows.
I-
You hear
I
he's smiling, he
understand
knows that
that.
60%
I
goes through.
understand that. I just wanted to let you know that we were here with the tenant who got extension after extension to get the plans to normalize these shipping containers. The issue, one of the issues was the fact that they were not secure, but they were planning to
I'm a
do
little
some-
closer to the mic.
They
I
were
hear you,
planning,
but everybody
they were
else.
planning to do something on the property. It's a vacant lot. And they were planning to do something to make it commercially viable for them, to make some kind of a wonderland there for children to come and visit. And they finally just walked away. They kept on getting extensions by this board to continue to try to get the approval from the city building department to do what they had to do, or the planning department, and they never did, and they just walked away. We're in the process of evicting them now. We couldn't evict them before because although this was there, they took the position that they did what they had to do by coming in front of the city and requesting extra time, and in fact, they weren't in default of the lease. And that's where we're here today. What do you want us to do?
I move for 23,100. We have to follow the
That's the maximum.
Yeah,
20.
Yeah.
We are reducing the maximum amount that we can
No, I
under
know
the
that.
law and the code, which is 60%, we can reduce 40%, so the amount is 23,100.
Well, if you could explain to my client why.
But he can read the code of the city of Miami, and
Section
you
two
can have it to him.
817D,
I'll show it to you.
subsection 2.
So in short, it's
I'm
not
sure
us, it's the city
You
code.
have your guidelines and
Right.
It's not a guideline.
policies.
It's not a guideline, sir, it's a
Yes, but
shall.
it's.
It's a
n-
shall.
No, it's a
not-
guideline. We can do less, we
It
just
is-
can't do
It
more.
is not a guideline, it is a code.
We did this last time.
It's a shall.
I understand.
It's a shall, Judge.
But we could do less.
Yes.
It's the most. So it's a guideline with a ceiling.
You could make it be 100%, but you
Correct.
can't go any lower
Right.
Then
than
60%.
that amount. That's
Exactly.
correct.
I don't want everyone to get confused again to think it's a shall on the only number. 'Cause that's
We
not what
cannot
it
do
is.
any more
The
mitigation.
most. We can't do any more
Right.
than.
You gotta drop it.
We wish we could, but
But-
we have
but-
our hands tied because of,
You
So
can
we
speak
gave
to
you
your
the most
attorney,
we're
sir.
allowed to give.
I understand.
Sir,
This
you
is
can
a
speak to
huge-
your attorney. Sir,
May
you
I-
can
may I
speak to
speak?
your attorney. We can't provide you legal advice.
I know
we
that,
can
but may I
explain we can
have a
explain
last
the
word
code.
in this?
Yeah,
May
I was
I-
gonna
I mean,
ask.
not the last word, but may I
Just
have
not the
a
last word,
closing
maybe another word, yeah.
argument? It is, in my opinion, it's not justified because it was not in my control. This is a huge fine. I'm not a large corporation. I'm the sole owner of this property. There's no income on this property right now. How can I pay a $23,500 fine? And you just we had a similar case just before that.
We were allowed to
We
do
gave
it on
them
the other case.
180
We were
days.
allowed to do it on the other case. We legally can't do it on this case.
Right.
Talk to your attorney, take other legal options. We are legally not allowed to do any more than we just did. We are legally not allowed. Do you understand?
So in other words,
Doesn't matter what you say, we can't do it.
We have lowered it as much as we can. Is
Can I appeal this?
You always have a right to appeal.
Absolutely, but talk to your attorney.
the only way we can help you if your property at one point in time was a residential.
Single family.
And that lot, if it
Single
was a
family home.
single-family home. Unfortunately, we don't have that information that it was
It
in
was
order
not.
for us to help you to reduce
It's
this
T5.
fine.
It's T5.
It's
Yeah, it's a
almost-
multifamily.
it's 55, yeah.
There was a garden.
Second? The second?
I'm gonna leave in 5, but I guess you don't need me for
It's a
quorum
T5.
if you wanna move
It's
forward.
a T5.
It's a T5.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
multifamily, commercial.
It's a medium density.
Whatever it is, we'll do what we legally can.
Right.
We do
Yeah.
it.
I already did my motion for
We have a
23,100.
motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I think we voted, didn't we?
You gotta vote it. Or either it's not, then he keep the same 38,000, or either we
I
reduce
didn't
it
say
or we don't.
anything, so I was.
We call the next case, people that are here?
Just a moment.
Thank you.
I'm calling the next case, my apologies.
nobody voted.
It's page 199, code check agenda.
So you guys already voted, correct?
I
Do I
never
have to-
said all in favor, so I
Oh.
don't know who voted.
Vote again, just vote again.
I know she voted.
Vote again. Say all in favor.
Okay,
No, I did my motion for 23,100, which is what
okay.
we can.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, we can do more.
Sir, sorry, that's all we can do.
Please wait for your mitigation order. Page 199, this is a code check case, mitigation, address 2732 Northwest 5th Street, case number 0009440, address 2732 Northwest 5th Street, page 199, code check agenda, just a moment. This is at 70 days.
70
70.
days?
Yes, 70.
Good evening. How are you? Please
Good.
state your name and address.
Good afternoon. My name is Eduardo Baez. I live at 133A1 Southwest 77th Street. I'm the owner of 2732 Northwest 5th Street.
Okay, let's see here. You have a fine of 17,500. What happened that it accumulated?
I never received the original notice. There is a tracking number that states that it was never delivered.
We're not hearing that case de novo.
Yeah.
No way, no how. You're here for
Yeah.
litigation.
Usually notices, and if you look at this photo, it's posted on the fence.
That's, And on top
The
of
day of the
everything,
violation.
this is a mitigation
And
hearing.
they mail it to you.
And it's $17,000 for illegal parking
17.5.
and outside storage. So it's nothing actually,
So this is residential. So
The
we
thing
can,
is, the tenants never told me that it was happening. So I
So
had,
the-
the moment I found out, I had the vehicles removed.
right.
the file
They-
shows that
they
the
were
property was
parking.
posted.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but what
he's
if the-
saying he never got notified. So,
What is his, what address?
and
did
this
he
is
notify?
residential.
Can we just tell him, can we tell him what address he was notified on as the property
Well, it's
owner?
posted on the fence.
I know, but if the tenant was there,
Sure,
the tenant
it
would have
went
easily
to
thrown away.
Eduardo Baez at 13381 Southwest 77th Avenue.
Is that your address?
That is my address.
Right, and he never
So-
got the notice because he has a little paper here showing that. he
Guys,
didn't get the notice.
guys, you're not here to evaluate a case which was adjudicated.
What do you recommend, Director? Since it's
Well, no,
70
so
days.
this
and
is,
something's
it's 70
minimal.
days.
This is
This is
this is
a
residential
four-unit property. This is not a single-family home.
It is, it's T3R. It is a single. It's a residence.
This is a four-unit,
Yeah, but it's residential.
It's an R2, I believe.
Gotta be single family.
right, this is not,
It doesn't
It's
fall,
T3 residential.
it doesn't fall within the
It's not.
exception. It's 4 units. The exception is
right,
single family, duplex.
Duplex.
They can
Okay.
be-
right. It's not, it doesn't have anything to do with the transect zone. It has to do with what's on the property. This has 4 units.
No, there's one house with an in-law in the back.
So there's two. The one house, so it's a single family.
Yeah, single-family home.
It's a single family.
All right, hold on. You can see the pictures right here.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
The address.
Let's see, hold on.
270.
So the property appraiser reflects it as 4 living units,
Yeah.
okay?
I'm sorry.
That's a
sir?
house.
Um,
How is it gonna be 4 living units because they have 4
Okay.
bedrooms?
Go to property appraiser.
No, well, it says 2 to 9 units.
Yeah,
It has 4 bedrooms and 3 baths.
exactly.
It's
That's not living
It
1,400.
also says it has 4
It was
living
built in
units.
1937, and there's no,
Okay.
I mean, there's no way in hell this could be 4 units.
No,
No,
it
it's
doesn't
not.
have
If you
4
look at the
living.
property.
Okay.
That
primarily-
house,
It's one property.
this,
Yep,
this,
yep, no,
that's
I-
incorrect.
So the primary lens unit,
Yeah,
the
that's home.
primary zone is.
And it's a
He's-
T3.
I'm looking at the overhead and there's a whole lot of extra buildings going on this property.
He's allowed,
There's a carport and the in-laws in the back.
it's T3R.
And
Yep.
that's,
It's a
that's been,
single-family
that's
home.
Then the
been-
carports, then the in-law quarters is illegal, but that's a whole different story.
The carport has been grandfathered in.
Well, we're not here
We've-
to
we've
see,
had
to
this
find out. We
property-
would have to
Yeah,
send an
it's
inspector out to make
1937.
sure that it's
For
illegal.
like 48 years.
Do we have a recommendation? And
What is the
what's the city's recommendation?
This is a single-family home.
Then if you think it's a single-family home, then you do what with it what you will.
But what's your
It's all
recommendation?
up to you guys.
So coach recommendation,
It's a single-family home.
if you're gonna proceed as a single family, which I'm reading here, it's a reduction from the 17,500 to $5,000.
5,000.
Yes.
I'll move
My
for
recommendation.
500.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. What do you guys?
500?
Yes.
No? Okay, please,
Maybe,
if you
yes.
can, Melanie, if you can please take
Roll call.
Did we
roll
say
call.
no?
Hold on a second.
Uh-huh. Calling member Brenda Bettencourt.
Yes.
Calling member Christy Tasker.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling member Martin Zilber.
Yes.
Thank you. Calling Vice Chair John Quinnell.
Yes.
Thank you. And calling member Chair Yvonne Bayona.
Yes,
Passes
$500.
5-0.
You have
Wait till
20
you have-
days to pay.
Yeah,
20
wait
days.
till you have your order.
Said no.
Thank you.
Don't leave. You're
Have a
welcome.
good evening.
Next case.
Okay, Rachel, that's all I have.
We're ready for the lightning.
So
We
what
have people here.
Lightning round.
Yeah, he's here to observe.
All right, now
Yes,
it's
I have
time for the
observed.
lightning round.
Who's, she's not here.
You here to observe? You didn't even bring me candy? No soda, no candy, no fruit? Thank you for listening to us.
We can go?
I'm ready to roll, man. Let's see, I got this pile and
So I can go see
and
my
I'm
kid?
figuring 20 minutes, okay? So,
Oh, boy.
here's my question.
And
Are we done? Is this it?
Since I haven't done this with this happy group here today before, I don't know what your standard preferences are. so we can move it quicker, whether it's for an absentia on a single-family home, still says 150, or do you move it to 250 for first violation? And for a commercial property, 500, is that,
Commercial.
or just go with my gut?
Yeah, go with your gut.
Okay.
You know how it is.
All right.
Rachel.
I'm just checking.
You hanging out with us more, or you're just filling in for the week?
I'm just filling in.
I heard you shook things up or something at your office.
Yeah, maybe I'll kill her off that way.
Oh, my God.
That way I get to come back. All right, first one, Inspector Anderson.
Page.
Page 10.
Yes.
Man. 1198 Northwest 61st Street, 000-83792. Inspector Anderson, please state your name for the record.
Anishka Anderson, Code Compliance North.
Did you cite the aforementioned property for failure to have a business tax receipt?
Yes,
And Exhibit A shows in this property that it's an apartment building, is that correct?
that's correct.
And within Exhibit A, it shows that they don't have the business tax receipt and the document showing that, is that correct?
That's correct.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record and Sunbiz, and it's not a Sunbiz, shows the owner of record, is that correct?
Yes,
And Exhibit A is all the notices of violations and summons that were sent, yes?
yes.
At this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
Evidence having been admitted, city asks for a finding of guilt. Immediate compliance, $500 a day.
Immediate compliance?
Yeah. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No,
I don't know how you guys generally do it.
I'm not voting for
So,
immediate
so that is,
compliance.
yeah, I'd like to have
10 days?
No, 3 days.
3 days? What do you want?
3 to
5
I do take backs, 5 days.
5 days.
Okay, motion again, 5 days.
Thank you,
I'll-
Brenda.
I'll
That
do
was
it.
very,
Amend the motion. I'll amend the motion. Nunca.
that's very
Second.
thoughtful.
Are we doing this again? I said I need a motion for
we're good,
5
we're
days,
good.
$500.
We're good. I amended it. We're good.
Okay.
Move on to the
This
next.
is page 10,
5.
page 5.
Yeah, page 10, 5 days.
Thank you.
Not immediate.
Medvin.
Medvin, come on, page 15, 3693 Charles Avenue, 000-797. Can't read your handwriting.
What
Hold on a
page?
second, 3015. Inspector, please state your name for the record.
Inspector Mevin, Southeast.
Cited the aforementioned property for failure to maintain the lot in a safe and clean manner. Is that
Correct.
correct? It's a vacant lot that's overgrown. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that's Exhibit A. Exhibit B shows the owner of record. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Exhibit C are all the notices and summons that were sent out, including the one telling them to be here today. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, this time the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
Evidence having been admitted, city rests as for finding of guilt, 5 days compliance, $250 a day.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next one's going to be page 17, page 17, 3250 Grand Avenue.
Again?
Inspector, it's complied?
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
Complied, we have one left. Page 23, Inspector Francois, 1871 Southwest 7th Street, 00008.
He's not here. Not here.
Reset.
Sorry.
Look, see, we're losing by the pony. Medvin's next. Page 26, El Prado, 3834 El Prado Boulevard. That's complied? Why do you guys tell me this stuff?
Okay.
All right, let's try the next one. Maybe this one's complied. Page 29, 1466 Northwest 70th Street, 000-73069. Apparently not complied. State your name for the record.
Anishka Anderson, Code Compliance North.
All right, did you cite the aforementioned property for work performed without a finalized permit?
Yes,
All right, and in this particular case, it's for a fence.
yes,
Because behind with construction or some wall they're building, there's an illegal construction fence, yes?
that's correct.
And they didn't apply for the construction fence needed when you're doing construction.
That's correct.
Okay, that's Exhibit A. Exhibit B shows the owner of record and the Sunbiz report for the registered agent. And Exhibit C is the notice of violation as well as the summons to appear, and all of that was posted and mailed. Is that correct?
Yes,
All right. This time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence. Any contact with the owner?
no,
All right. At this time, the city rests as for a finding of guilt, 5 days for compliance, and $250 a day.
So move.
Second. Anybody?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next one.
Next. Next one's going to be page, I wish I could see, page 37. 3091 Plaza Street,
Says complied.
Okay, never mind.
It's
I like that. That was strong. That was that was complied. Page 40 is reset. Page 42, 1421 Southwest 7th Street, 000-63223. Inspector, please state your name.
Lynette Nadarcy, Southwest Office.
Good evening.
Hello.
You cited the aforementioned property for failure to maintain the lot, failure to register the vacant structure, as well as being vacant, blighted, and abandoned. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. This is a large property.
Yes.
It's a large building.
Has never been contact. This was a 311 by the neighbor, squashed in the middle by an empty lot that I already had complied and cleaned out. And this property at the time was vacant with an excess of different elements, a lot of brush and stuff, and it was in really bad state. They did start applying for building permits, but something has happened where everything has halted. The neighboring property is a multifamily unit. There are the residents living there, and they have all these types of things going on, like rodents and roaches and a lot of
Right, because you've
on-site
got 18
stuff.
units of vacant and open.
Yes. So
raccoons.
So the property to the south did do their due diligence. That one's done, but this one is still an eyesore.
Okay.
And
And all that information and everything else, I mean, in terms of the photographs and everything else, is part of Exhibit A, is that correct?
Correct.
And then the owner is Little Havana, 1421 Southwest 7th Street, and according to Exhibit B,
Yes.
which has the submitted report for the registered agent, who is noticed to be here today.
Yes.
Okay, as well as Exhibit C, which has all of the notices and summons, is that correct?
What is the maximum we can go on this building?
I'm getting
Please.
there. I'm getting there.
I live close
I'm
by.
getting there. So, at this time, the city would seek to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submitted.
Okay, the evidence having been admitted, the city rests would ask for a finding of guilt, still 5 days compliance, $1,000 per diem, and a $5,000 irreparable fine. We believe that you can make that finding based upon the testimony of the inspector on what it is causing the neighbors, based upon the pestilence, as well as the condition of the property and the lack of contact.
I'll move for a motion. For find the property guilt, $1,000 per day, 5 days of the after, and 5,000 repairable fees.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I gotta write this note down, hold on, 5. I just gotta put irreparable on here, that's all. All right, next one's gonna be page, I'll probably get yelled at, page 71, 600 Northwest First Avenue. Inspector Lazaric, 000-54287, 600 Northwest First
Inspector
Avenue.
Nadarcy.
Inspector, please state your name for the record, don't get yelled
Eugenio
at.
Lazarica, City of Miami Code Compliance.
Did you cite the aforementioned property for not having a CU or a
Yes.
BTR?
Yes,
And this is for Evolution Parking, is that correct?
correct.
All right, what's marked as Exhibit A is a series of printouts and photographs showing this is actually a valet company. This is their office, and they're trying to get a CU and BTR at this point, aren't they?
Correct.
And you had contact with them, yes?
Yeah, I spoke to him today too as well.
And they didn't show up. Imagine that. All right. Exhibit B shows the owner of record, and Exhibit C shows is copies of all of the summons and notices that you've posted. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, and they still remain in violation at this time.
Correct.
All right, but they do have an application in process.
Correct.
Okay. This time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence. Evidence having been admitted, city rests asks for a finding of guilt, 5 days, and $250 a day thereafter.
So move.
Actually,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You want to say something?
255 days, Bill.
next one is page 73. I can't even read that. 401 Biscayne Boulevard, case number 000-31984. Inspector, please state your name.
Eugenio Lazarica, City of Miami Code Compliance.
All right, so in this particular instance, I'm gonna have you read them all out. This is a case where they lack CUs and BTR for basically almost the entire shopping center. Is that correct?
What?
Correct.
Okay, so can you read off at this time
At
the
this time-
businesses that lack a CU and a BTR?
So this is for Bayside Marketplace. The businesses are Times Square Electronics, Almendros Boutique, It's Sugar, Riquiarte, Café con Leche, Rolly's Bistro, The Luggage Store, Miami Tours and Cruises, Custom House 2, TikTok Plush, Wooden Cases, Yummy Yummy Empanadas, Coco Playa, Simply Dimply, 305 Miami Design, I Love Miami #2, 3D Laserland, Tin Man Miami, both the Dino Safari locations, the Skechers, Beyond the Soap, Sunglass Hut, Empire Inc., Sam Collections and Crackers, Bayside Marketplace, the
Management office?
management office, the security office, Victoria's Secret, Lottie Dottie, Embrace Your Body, Passage to India, and Express.
That's like the entire base.
Let's close it down.
It was originally 43 businesses, 30 are not in compliance yet.
All right, so we got a few. Now, located within Exhibit A, not only are photographs in each every one of them, but you have added the list that's updated, as well as the business detail reports from the city records for each one of those showing that they do not have it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you for doing that. Exhibit B shows the owner of record and Sunbiz report for the registered agent. And Exhibit C is all of the notices sent to Chicago, Illinois, to that individual, as well as to the registered agent here in Florida. Is that correct? At this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence. At this time, the city would ask for a finding of guilt, 5 days compliance, $500 a day thereafter.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion.
Second. I'll second Christie's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.
Amazing job, wow.
You made a killing that day.
All right, good. Have a good night, everyone.
Meeting, we should go to
We
Bayfront
done?
Park.
We're all done, right?
No, I got another stack, but
I'm
we're
done.
almost there. I
I'm
believe, 103 is off calendar.
103?
We're gonna go to page 109, 3720 Northwest Second Terrace.
That's your bedtime.
I told you 25 minutes, that's all I need. 000-64467, again, page 109. Inspector Torres, please state your name for the record.
Inspector Torres, Code Compliance.
Did you cite the aforementioned property for work without a permit? That is, they have a metal fence and a driveway done? Those are the only violations, correct?
Correct.
And Exhibit A shows the fence, the driveway, as well as the lack of permitting, correct?
Correct.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record, and Exhibit C are all the notices of the violation, as well as the summons for today were posted and mailed. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, this time the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
Evidence having been admitted, the city asked for a finding of guilt, immediate compliance, and 250 day thereafter. 5 days compliance, sorry. Old habits die hard.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
All right, next page, we're going to page 112, Inspector Anderson, 6415 Northwest 17th Avenue, case number 000-75461, again, page 112. Inspector, please state your name for the record.
Anishka Anderson, Code Compliance North.
You cite the aforementioned property for violations of not having a CU and a delinquent business tax receipt payment.
Yes.
What is the business located there? What's the business?
64, it's an apartment complex.
Okay. And Exhibit C shows the apartment complex and also shows they don't have a CU and they didn't pay their BTR up to date.
That's correct.
Okay. Exhibit B shows the owner of record as well as the Sunbiz report for the registered agent. And Exhibit C are all the notices of violations that were posted, sent, as well as the summons were posted and mailed for tonight. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. At this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submit it.
Evidence having been admitted, city rests as for finding a guilt, 5 days compliance, $500 a day.
Motion as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, next one's going to be 119 Northwest 6th Avenue, 000-74725. I know, I thought it was like, where's she coming? Oh, she was shorter. Please state your name for the record.
Jocelyn Castillo, Code Compliance Southeast Office.
You cite the aforementioned property for failure to maintain the lot and failure to register a vacant lot?
Yes.
All right, is the property still in the same condition it was when you cited it?
The picture's today. I just passed by.
Oh, yeah, so
That's today?
So it's even crummier.
Yes, it's even worse.
You're gonna add the tires to the next violation? All right, so Exhibit A shows the condition of the property as well as a report showing that it's not registered. Is that correct?
Correct.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record as well as the Sunbiz report for the registered agent. And Exhibit C shows the notice of violation as well as the summons for tonight, and they were mailed to the parties as required pursuant to statute, correct?
Correct.
Any contact with the owner?
No contact. I don't.
At this time, the city would ask that Exhibits A, B, and C be admitted.
Admitted.
Being admitted, the city rests as for finding of guilt, 5 days compliant, $500 a day thereafter.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Next one's going to be page 121, address 214 Northwest 74th Street, Inspector Encinosa, 000-66795. This case is a repeat offender. Inspector, please state your name for the case.
Good evening, Eric Encinosa, Code Compliance After Hours.
And you cited the aforementioned property for work performed without a permit as well as failure to register the lot. Is that correct?
Correct.
So they demolished without a permit.
Correct.
Okay. And they are a repeat violator based upon case 000-23793. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that is also, and that is also notated in Exhibit A. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Exhibit A shows.
I'm not sure if
It's
that's
a
the
wrong
correct one.
address. They typed the wrong address.
That's not the correct case.
Yeah, I hear you.
Pictures are up. I'm sorry. What was your question?
That it's notated in Exhibit A. This is a repeat offender. Their previous cases are 0023793 and 0009834. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Any contact with the property owner?
Briefly in the beginning, I spoke to them and they had work without a permit many years ago when I was on the day shift north. I gave them a courtesy call one time. They never showed up. And ever since then, they've never contacted me for
Okay.
anything.
All right.
It's like 3 years.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record and has the report from Sunbiz for the registered agent, which is located here in Florida, although it's a Chicago corporation. Exhibit C shows the notice of violation that was posted at the property and mailed to them, as well as the notice to appear today, which was posted and mailed. Is that correct?
Correct.
At this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Admitted.
Evidence having been admitted, city rests as for finding of guilt, 5 days compliance, and $1,000 a day as a repeat offender.
So move.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Next one will be page,
Good night. We're losing one.
we still have quorum, almost done. We have less than 10 minutes. All right, 244 Northwest 73rd Terrace, page 128, 000-48621. Again, page 128. Inspector, please state your name for the record.
Eric Encinosa, Code Compliance After Hours.
Do you cite the aforementioned property for failure to maintain the exterior, failure to maintain the lot, work performed without a permit, as well as improper storage of materials?
Yes.
In this particular case, just describe to them briefly Exhibit A, what Exhibit A details.
This is a vacant structure. Squatters are living in there. There's no power. They've had an unsafe structure and work without a permit case through building since 2019. I cited them in 2022 due to all the different quorums. Every time I've gone by, I've posted 3 or 4 summons on this property. The door's always open, always. And people speak, then they go away. No contact from the owners whatsoever. It's a New Jersey LLC.
Right, at this time, the city seeks to admit Exhibit A, which is a series of photographs detailing everything that you said and showing that they don't have permitting that's required, and also the mess that is this property.
Yeah.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record, and as well as, let me just check this.
I don't have parking on unimproved surfaces because that's a violation that occurred after I cited.
Right.
It's the only thing I'm missing.
Right, and Exhibit C is the summons that was sent and posted at the property, as well as sent to the registered agent for the notice of violation and posted, yes?
Yes.
All right, at this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence. Evidence having been admitted, city rests as for finding of guilt, 5 days for compliance, and $1,000 a day.
Motion so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Page 135, 3404 North Miami Avenue, case number 000-75528. Again, page 135. Inspector Howman. There she is. State your name for the record.
Yes.
Inspector Tiana Hallman, Code Compliance, Central Office.
You cite the aforementioned case for putting up a sign without a permit, failing to have a CU, and failing to have a BTR.
Yes.
All right, and this is for Muse is the name of the business, and they have a big Muse written on the side, not written, but placed down as their sign without the permit. Is that correct?
Yes.
And located in Exhibit A is a lovely photograph of the front of Muse, as well as the city report showing that they have no building permit, and also that they do not have a CU or a BTR. Is that correct?
Yes.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record, which is a New York holding company, but they do have a registered agent in the state of Florida who was noticed as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and they were sent the notice of violation originally, and it was posted on the property, as well as the summons for today, which was mailed and posted. Yes?
Yes.
All right, at this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submitted.
Evidence having been admitted, city rests as for finding of guilt, 5 days for compliance, and $500 a day thereafter.
Motion moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
All right, next one's going to be page 164, 225 Northwest 22nd Street, 000-33573. Again, that's page 164. Inspector, please state your name for the record.
Marcelo Lazarique, Central Office.
Let's see, you cited the aforementioned case, property for no CU and no BTR. It seems to be popular tonight. What's the name of the business?
Well, it's actually a multifamily housing.
Okay. So, right, that's right. It's for the apartment complex.
Yeah.
18 units. All right. Any contact with the owner?
One time.
Okay. They haven't applied for anything, haven't done anything, have they?
So what happened is their certificate of use is actually revoked. There's been a couple of stories I've heard. Someone said it was because of fire. Someone says it's 40, 50 year recertification. I haven't been able to confirm otherwise, but it is revoked. They've been trying to get the CU reinstated. The only thing is they haven't been able to close out their 40, 50 year recertification because they have an active electrical permit, which I'm assuming dates back to that. That's what I've been told.
Because that's what they need to do to get their
Yeah.
certification. And then once they get their certification, they can get their CU back.
Which is a problem.
Which, if the fire.
But it would be good if they were here tonight because they would be able to get time to comply, would they not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all what's been
It's
told to me.
crazy, you know, with all the danger,
All right.
they've been fires everywhere. And they have electrical.
I didn't witness a fire. That's just what I've been told by people who lived there.
Okay. So Exhibit A is a series of photographs showing the printouts from the business system from the city of Miami showing
Correct.
the revoked CU, no BTR, and also photographs of the property itself. Correct?
Correct.
Exhibit B shows the owner of record and the Sunbiz report for the registered agent. And then Exhibit C shows, has all of the notices that were posted and mailed, as well as for the original violation, as well as for the summons today. Is that correct? This time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence.
Submitted.
Evidence having been admitted, city rests as for a finding of guilt, 5 days for compliance, $500 a day thereafter.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was $500 per diem?
500.
Next one is page 167.
That one's going to be a reset. 97 Northwest? Yeah.
97 Northwest 25th Street is a reset. Okay. Let's see, page 1, so we've got 2 left. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 left. Page, let's see, 176 is off calendar. So we have 1 left, page 183. Is that yours?
9. 9.
Inspector 𝐂𝐻𝐻, the last but not the least. Page 183, 89 Northeast 70th Street, 000-69525. Page 183, Inspector, please state your name for the record.
𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐻𝐻, Code Compliance North.
You cite the aforementioned property for almost all of the citations we have. Work performed without a permit, failure to register a vacant lot, failure to maintain the exterior, parking on unimproved surfaces, illegal parking of a commercial vehicle in a residential zone, and parking or storage of inoperable untagged vehicles.
All violation exists and no contact.
I was going to say, they're still all outstanding?
Yes.
Okay. And Exhibit A is a series of photographs that in fact show all of the violations, which have, there's looks like one of those buses out there and all of the condition of the fence, the condition of the property, as well as they demolished, but they didn't finalize their permits,
No,
correct?
no permit have been finalized.
That's what I was saying, yeah, okay. Exhibit B shows the owner of record, and Exhibit C shows a copy of the postings for not only the notice of violation, but for today's summons that were sent to him, as well as the mailing that occurred for the summons today, and was also posted, yes?
Correct.
At this time, the city seeks to admit A, B, and C into evidence. The evidence admitted, city rests as for finding of guilt, 5 days for compliance, $500 a day thereafter.